Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because it's a wild story altogether. Just in general, it's wild, right? So, what's happening in New York is a woman accuses her fertility doctor of secretly using his own sperm. Tell me that's not some wild shit at first, right?
That's crazy as shit, yo. Off
Yeah,
first glance, just reading that title is like, what?
yeah. Can you imagine you going in there, whether it's you with your wife or who, whatever the situation may be, and let's say you can't have kids or some shit like that, and then this guy decides to just use his own sperm, bro. Like you can't like because a lot of the times it's usually people who are having a difficult time getting pregnant, whether it's the father or the mother. And sometimes the guy would use his own sperm, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. And then
Mhm.
you tell me the doctor is switching it out and using his own, my boy, son.
Yeah, my dude said, yo, I need to get these kids up, son.
Yo,
I get
it's
these kids up out here all everywhere.
I say, yo, it's fucking disgusting. I say, so it says a woman is suing New York. A New York fertility doctor claiming he used his own sperm to secretly impregnate multiple patients. Something said, something she said discovered when DNA genealogy test revealed she had at least 9.5 siblings. God damn.
That's
I say
crazy.
the lawsuit was filed Saturday by the 35-year-old daughter of a woman who got fertility treatments from Dr. Morris Wortman in Rochester in the 1980s. It said he falsely told the family that the sperm donor had been a local medical student. He kept he Yeah, that is so fucked, bro. I say oh my god, I say he kept the truth a secret, the lawsuit said, even after the woman, his biological daughter, became one of his patients. Oh my god, bro, how do you I said the case is more than one of 20 instances in recent years where fertility doctors have accused of using their own sperm rather than the samples of anonymous donors to treat patients. Say the discovery of the scenarios have been made possible with the rise of genealogy sites like Ancestry.com and 23andMe. Oh, that's fucking disgusting, bro. Could you imagine not having a baby and then thinking obviously you're gonna come out looking like somewhat like you because this is how you had it coming out, but he's not. The baby's just not at all, bro. And it's just the doctor's child.
Yo, listen. First off,
That's so
that man's crazy,
ah,
crazy as hell for even going there to
that's
begin
fucking
with.
disgusting.
But I'm just like, yo, what do you do? What was he? What was the thought process like if he had couples coming in there that weren't
Bro,
the same nationality of him? How the
nigga,
fuck did
thought
that
process.
work?
That's fucking disgusting. I say,
Nah, but I'm just like, yo, how do you pull that off, my boy? These people come in, they two different colors different than you.
hey, Mr.
And
Hayes,
you're
thank
like,
you for
hey
coming
yo, I'm
off
gonna
the stream.
drop
That's
this load in her real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Like, do you think I don't even know. Do you think it's like like he gets gratification from it in that type of way? You know what I mean? Or is it like, or is it just like, is it just a god complex?
I
Man,
don't know. It's
Like, is it like it's just insane? Hold on, let me continue. In Indiana, Dr. Donald Klein was accused of using his own sperm to impregnate as many as a dozen women. Oh, as many as dozens of women after telling them that the donors were anonymous. He ultimately pleaded guilty to lying to investigators during an investigation and was given a 1 year suspended license. That's it
mm,
for making dozens of women have your child. Bro, are you? What the fuck is good with the law system, yo? This shit is wild.
yeah,
No,
you can do fucked up
this
shit,
is not
bro.
the call-in show. The call-in show I will be doing hopefully tomorrow. As soon as I bought a house, everybody has been calling me to do everything and anything all the weekends. I'm busy this weekend. I'll say hopefully tonight I'm straight. Well, not tonight. Tomorrow night I'm straight, so I don't have to deal with a bunch of extra shit, bro. But like, yo, I've been having to do everything and everything, and it's just like, all right, just relax, people. Just relax. Let me get a little bit of time now. Let me get some time. Fire ants. I got ants in my pants, is what you're telling me? Probably. I got ants in my pants. I'm not lying. I say, trust me, I want to do the show. I got a lot of shit to do. I gotta help my mom. I gotta help my brother's mom move tomorrow. It's a lot of shit. My bad. Hold on. Let me get back to the story. So HBO released a documentary last year entitled Baby God about a Nevada doctor accused of inseminating multiple patients with his sperm. And another example, a Colorado doctor was sued by at least 6 people. I would say for his procedures in between 1975 and 1989. God damn. A New Jersey woman also sued a former New York doctor with the same allegations earlier this year. Bro, what is going on here? I say the funny thing is I was talking about this with my girlfriend, and I was like, "Do you think we should be able to put implications? I don't even know if that's the right word, but should we be able to put restrictions? I would say on male doctors when it comes down to things that involve more or less the uterus." What do you think she said?
Well, like, I feel like your girl definitely said, "Hell yeah," and
No,
I and,
she
I,
said
and
no.
I,
She said no.
she said, "Nah." Yo,
She said
I
no.
kind of, to an extent, bro. To an extent, I kind of feel like, yeah, but it's like, yo, it's
Is it?
just
Is it?
men niggas keep proving that we like they keep making us look bad. It's like, yo, niggas be out here being cornball, creepy ass motherfuckers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, while I want to like say every profession is for everybody, like I'll be real, right? Like I thought about doing a whole daycare thing. It's creepy when you tell people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, let's, you know what I'm saying? Cause there's so many creepy dudes out there who make it bad where it's like you can't even do something as simple as like watch kids, you know what I'm saying? Cause you got these creepy motherfuckers out here. So I can understand it, like, it's even creepier when you out here doing things that involve like doing things with people's uteruses and shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
I
got you.
don't know, man.
I was saying, now tell me, I got a question. Was my mic was my voice on like my
Yeah,
voice thing on?
this whole time.
You motherfuckers, y'all couldn't tell me something.
Nah, man, I thought that's what you wanted to do.
Oh, that's what I thought.
What
Still
I
too.
say? What voice thing was on? I didn't know.
The one that make you sound like what's the word?
Yeah, these niggas here.
The real deep one. The
Oh,
real deep one with a little
oh,
bit
the
of echo.
Titan voice. The Titan voice.
Yeah,
Oh,
Titan was
okay.
on.
Yeah, all right, my bad. I didn't even know. Thank you, Libby, for telling me. Say, give a round of applause to Libby. I appreciate you, Libby. Much love. I say because they obviously wasn't gonna tell me. They would just let me go through this whole goddamn thing like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy, bro. Thank you for the little raid. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that, my boy. You didn't have to do that. That's nice of you.
Of course.
Appreciate you. All right. Back to the story, people. I apologize. I say so. The woman sued Wortman as through her attorney that her name be withheld because the personal nature of the allegations and because they involved her medical history. She declined to be interviewed. Now, the doctor conducted shocks the coincidence. Shocks the coincidence. What the fuck does that even mean? Is it the lawsuit said that the woman had known that she was born in 1985 through artificial insemination and that Wortman had in fact been revered in her family for helping her mother conceive through what they thought was an anonymous sperm donation from a University of Rochester medical student. Yo, this niggas is sick, bro. I said it became a tougher pill to swallow, he said once. I said, on one hand, you're grateful for your existence and the people that you're sharing the experience with. On the other, I don't know how to forgive the violation of confidence and trust that a woman puts in her physician in the most intimate of settings. Yo, I say that is a really difficult thing. Imagine you being the kid in this situation. Did you think about that?
Mhm.
Like think about that, because well, I think the shock through coincidence, or yeah, the shocks through coincidences is what I meant to say. Sorry, I would say I totally butchered that. My bad. I would say, but like think about that. You're the child in this situation, and you have this thought process of I'm technically not supposed to be here. I say I don't know how more or less my mom feels about me. Like she could perfectly, feel perfectly fine. There's no issue, blah blah blah. Like, but like you also got to think about it. Like I wasn't supposed to be here. Like my dad could have a totally different change in feeling about me, and shit like that. Like shit like that happens, and people don't really understand that. Like there's a lot more trauma that comes out of that than just like, oh yeah, he was just giving out his baby juice to everybody. Like it's a lot more than that. That shit is scary, bro. That shit is really scary. Can you really imagine that? I'm gonna say on one of these visits, my man said, he said, "You're a really good kid, such a good kid," to one of his kids.
Your man is wild.
That's what I'm saying, nigga. What? It's like you. First off, you're your own child's gynecologist, and then you're telling her that she's a good kid. Good kid. Your pussy looks all right. That's good. Good. That's my little Jessie or whatever the fuck her name. Like, bro, come on, nigga. Like, oh my god. I'm gonna say things
Okay.
like this happen a
Weird,
lot. My bad. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was saying motherfucker weird, yo.
Weird isn't the
Fucking
fucking word.
weird.
Weird is not the word. I just say that it's just it's fucking disgusting. All right. Now that kind of leads me into my next segment because this is going to be a long ass show or anything like that. But my next segment is there's this picture that was going around on Facebook, right? And I want to get everybody's opinion on this because I personally think it's the fucking stupidest shit in the world. I say, but not the stupidest shit in the world. I'm not gonna go that far, but it's pretty dumb for half and half. Like there's reasons to it. Say, but it says men, if DNA confirms that the baby is not yours, it doesn't change the fact that you must take responsibility of the baby. Women go through a lot in marriages and women deserve better. This has 159 retweets, 2,562 quote tweets, and 491 likes. Mind you, this was when it was posted in January 21. And this is just a picture of it. And
I know
the
exactly what
main
you're talking
post
about.
came up at September 13th. Now think about that shit. Hold on. Let me read this. Before we get into that, let me read this from Libby. I was adopted in 1966, made in the Motor City, born and raised in Toronto. My parents, the ones who adopted me, love me like their own always. Yes. I didn't say that's what's up. I was say you get a lot of parents who don't give a fuck about the kids that they're raising, and they usually just do it for the money or just the how can I say the benefits that come with it for the most part, being revered in the community or being seen in a better light, so people look at you higher in a higher stature like that. A lot of that shit happens as well, but the ones that do it for the love and everything, obviously you gotta cherish those and say that's not always around. Say, but I would say, do you want me to read it to y'all again so y'all can hear what she said? If y'all weren't paying attention,
Oh no. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I say you
I
got it.
know
I
exactly
say,
what.
what about
I
you,
know
Suave? Did you
exactly
hear
why.
it?
Yeah, I heard it.
All right. So what are you doing? Playing the game?
No, I'm just having some shit in the background.
What?
I'm running some shit. I'm downloading one of my
Pay
streams.
attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. We're doing my show. Pay attention.
I
Pay
know.
attention. We here.
You know, I always do this shit.
No, don't do it today. I need you to zone the fuck in here. All right, zone in, bruh. This is good content. Now, if DNA confirms the baby is not yours, it doesn't change the fact that you must take responsibility of the baby. Do you agree with that, Suave?
Can you just repeat it one more
You
time?
son of a bitch.
I'm
You
not
son of a
doing
bitch.
it.
I just told you this. This is why I said lock in. This would be my third time reading it. And you still ain't
Alright.
hear it. All
No,
right.
I just didn't hear the
Men.
second time. Mhm.
Then why did I have
Go ahead.
if you heard
Men.
it the first time, then I shouldn't have to never mind. All right.
Yeah, all right.
Men, if DNA confirms the
Mhm.
baby is not yours, it doesn't change the fact that you must take responsibility for the baby.
If it's that's a tough. Honestly, I think it's person to person basis. Like some people will raise their kid and be like, "Yeah, I know it's not mine, but this kid's been in my life and a part of what I've been doing, and it would do more damage to the kid than me if I left." I
Right.
mean, and then you get the people that are like, "Nah, fuck that. That ain't my kid. I ain't dealing with this shit. You know, I can't." And then would
All
be
right, I
petty.
know that, but what is your personal feeling? Your personal thought process? I see you, Amanda, have a baby or whatever, and then you find out 5 years that the baby's not yours or some shit. Oh, you
I
got
don't.
silent.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
Mm,
I guess I just have to be. I feel like I would have to be in that position to know. I'd probably be mad. I'd be highly upset. I'd
mm.
be highly upset. It probably would ruin the relationship.
Well, I mean,
Um,
I'd fucking
as
agree.
far as the kid, um, I would just. It's tough. I feel like it depends how like knowing that I guess I wouldn't act any different towards the kid just because like it was mine in my head for 5 years, you know.
Right.
That's half a decade,
Mm,
you know, and that's
okay.
like not easy for somebody to like just forget, you know. And this kid only knows you at like you in the 5 years, so like to find out like you're not the father is just like that's a big blow, and you don't know what psychologically that can do to the child at such a young stage of their lives,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know.
All right.
So
So,
like
all right. So, what happens if the baby isn't born yet?
that's a different story. That's a complete different story. Like
All right, hold on. Vaughn, what about you? How would you go about it? Like, you already have a child, right?
All right, you ready? You ready for
Yeah,
this?
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
Fuck that shit. Nah, fuck out of here, yo. There's two things you have to understand about this, right? If we're
Right.
talking legally and you sign them fucking papers, you kind of shit out of luck. You know what I mean? You might be really fighting to get your name off them papers, but that motherfucker not your kid.
Mm-hmm.
Two, that post is in reference to women being treated like shit by men. So it's kind of like, yo, since your fellow penile brethren been treating women like shit, y'all should take some fall for because we've been out here getting treated like shit. Fuck that, son. There's no reason you should be taking a fall from somebody else's bullshit. And like, if people just want to be ain't shit people, just be an ain't shit people by yourself. Why you gotta be ain't shit to somebody else? Be ain't shit by yourself. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
No, I completely agree with that. Yeah, I say it. I.
That stick around shit. That raised a motherfucker like that shit. Yo shit though. I don't know, man. See,
I mean,
that
yeah. If
shit
we're
make me want
coming,
to punch a motherfucker.
I say, like, if you're already been deep into the child's life, I can understand, but I can also understand someone also leaving because they're like, well, with this being the revelation, I personally can't look at the child the same and might not be able to give this child the same love. So I don't want to ruin that or whatever in the child's life. I don't want the child to think that I, how can I say, I regret being here. You feel what I'm saying? Because like some niggas harbor that shit and show that on their sleeve when they be looking at the child and shit, or certain things that happen. They be like, "This ain't even my fucking kid, nigga." Like, no, like, like they're niggas that think evil like that and shit like that. So, I mean, to me, it's just wild. At the end of the day, it's just wild that women feel that even if the baby isn't yours, and technically she cheated in this aspect, you're supposed to be like, it's okay, and you're supposed to give her all the love and support in the situation because women go through a lot in marriages. Not because she went through a lot, but because women went through a lot. All the other women went through a lot, and other women deserve better. So you gotta do her a solid, even though she fucked up. You feel what I'm saying? To
mhm.
me, that shit makes no sense. It makes no sense. I say some of the comments on here we got is, I'm disappointed by my gender sometimes. Are you kidding me? You can't go do some crappy stuff and put the responsibility on an innocent person and say women go through a lot. I am disgusted by this generation of women who see right in what is absolutely wrong. God damn. Okay. That got 956 likes. I respect that. It's like one is already cheating and pregnant and is not sure whose responsibility. So she's saying this to console herself for future damages. Mind you, these are all women saying this. I say, no, it's not fair. Women can be more responsibility in most situations. DNA testing should be required from the start so that the father is known immediately. I kind of agree with that. I'm not even going to hold you. Say this is why the rest
Big
of us I say this is why the rest of us have a hard time finding a good man. They fear us thinking like them. Oh, well, I'm guessing she say they fear us thinking like this woman is thinking. It is the biological father that must face responsibility and the cost of caring for their offspring. By the same token, if a man chooses to take care of a non biological child and does so with kindness, he is a true hero and deserves every accolade. I completely agree as well. It's just, you can't always, not everyone's going to be able to be on that same token, I would say. Stupidity talking. I say, will you allow your husband to father a child whom he initially thought was his, but later found out it isn't his? And I say, some women will, and shit like that is easy. I say, like, people in general are easy. All right. Other one I wanted to talk about was, all right. So there's this picture of two people that are having a conversation about their child, obviously, right? And it goes like this. So she says, "You want to keep Sean an extra week?" He says, "Yeah, when?" She says, "I'm trying to find out what day we're leaving." He says, "We?" question mark. She says, "Yeah, me and my cousins are going out of town." He says, "Oh, so you're not giving me my son for father and son time? You need a babysitter." "Yeah, I can babysit him for 300." She says, "Nigga, what the fuck you mean babysit? It's your son. You can't babysit your own child." He says, "Sure, I can. It's not my parenting time per our custody agreement. So I'm not acting as his parent. So I'm his babysitter. $300 or you'll have to find someone else to watch him." She says, "Wow, fuck you." How do you feel about that? Chat, how you feel about it? How do y'all feel about that? Can I hear somebody say something? I'm trying to do a talk show here.
Listen,
And
man, I
my
didn't know
niggas
who
is
was going.
quiet as
And
fuck.
nah, listen. I was
I'm
gonna
think
jump in, but I feel like I'm always jumping in before anybody else. So I want to give the floor a chance. But
Well, you know, Avery resumed the fuck out, so just jump in
oh,
and I'll
all
ask
right,
Avery
bet. Let
after.
me
no,
get my thing.
I'm right out. I was just about to respond. Like I'm not even zoomed the fuck out. Jeez.
All right, let's go. Come on.
I was gonna say, it's petty. I mean, on both aspects, you know, like it's like who suffers? The kid, you
Well,
know,
of
like
course the kid suffers, but what is it that I mean, based off of what's going on in the situation, it seems like it's more of he's he's pretty much giving her the same energy it seems like she gives to him. You understand where I'm coming from?
yeah. I mean, my thing is, I don't think the guy's in the wrong just
He's not
because
right though when it comes down to the $300 part. When it comes down to the $300 part, let's say he completely fucked up. He's completely wrong. I don't agree
No,
with that
I'm saying
aspect
that
of it.
which I mean they're both petty. That's both being petty, you know.
Yeah.
One that as the woman's using, uh, like saying you don't want to see your son when she needs somebody to like to watch the kid during her time to go out, and the guy is like, "Oh, I want to be able to, yeah, I know it's my son, but it's not my time to watch him, and I know that you can't find anybody if you want me. I'll watch my own kid for $300. That shit is fucked up too." It's
Yeah,
just
that's
it's
funny
just
though.
literally it's both being petty, and it's just at the end of the day, nobody's really suffering more than the kid. You
I
know,
agree.
like
I agree
so
with that.
honestly, I don't fuck with both sides. You know,
You
it's
don't
just
fuck
like
with both sides.
no, it's just
So
like
why wait, what's wrong with her side though? So what's wrong with her side?
the fact that she is basically using the oh you don't want to watch your own kid to because she's trying to go out, you know, like she's like, hey, come watch your kid, and yeah, like I understand it's not my time, but you're trying to use me to do things that you want. Like, and now I'm just basically, you see, like you said, giving the same energy. I'm using the court because, like, literally, we had to do all this stuff. We had to do to figure out who gets what time. So we had to go through obviously the court system.
Mhm.
So I'm just giving it back to you. Like, this is not our agreement. You're going back on our agreement. I understand this is our kid, but this is what we legally got the law or the court involved. Now that the court is involved, it's not just me and your confliction. It's me, you, and the court confliction. If that makes
Contraception.
sense.
I would say
Sure.
any of these people here of contraception? Probably not. I would say it's just. I
But
think
do
this
you
happens a lot though.
but do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I would say you have two people here that obviously have to deal with a lot of bullshit from each other constantly over and over and over again. And it's just obviously it seems like it's a never ending story when it comes down to it. Because to me, it seems like obviously she, whenever he wants his child, it seems like she kind of hits him with this it's not your time. If he ever wants his child that's not on his scheduled dates, it seems like she has an issue with it. Cause like, I mean, homeboy he was quick to say, "You like, yeah, of course." I say, but once she said that, oh, it's because I'm doing something else, and that's the only reason I'm letting you see your child at this point. I understand where the pettiness more or less came from. I'm not saying that I agree with it per se, but I understand where it's coming from. I was saying it's sad because like a lot of motherfuckers don't realize like this shit comes up easy. I would say this is one of the things that I've never wanted to have to deal with in my life was having a baby mother. You feel me? Like I don't want to have to call the father of my child a baby mom because I think shit like that more or less is disrespectful at the end of the day. Because when it comes out, it's like that's just my baby's mother. It's not my girl. It's nothing like that. That's just my baby mom. And then the way that the way the way baby mom has come up uh and nowadays it's not a good term. You feel what I'm saying? Like to me
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like it's a good term anymore. It seems like it's automatically a derogatory term for the most part. Like it doesn't hold the same weight that it did back in the day. And it's just scary that a lot of the times that a lot of the people that are having these kids are the ones that don't deserve to have these kids, and they just literally just ruining it for everybody, ruining it for
Yeah.
everybody.
That's crazy how some people don't even bat an eye when that shit happens.
No, I agree. It's just it's there's so many people out there that deserve to have kids that can take care of kids in such a better light or in a better way that they don't get that ability or they don't get that choice. I say there's people out there that would be amazing mothers or amazing fathers that literally just can't produce kids or don't have the money to adopt or the living conditions to adopt. Yet they will take kids from perfectly fine households and give them to people who could barely take care of them. And it's scary. I would say I've seen foster homes where it's like, how the fuck does this even happen? How does it get to this point? How do you let this become a normal thing for kids to have to deal with? I'm saying it's scary, bro. It's scary not only for the kids but for the future.
Hmm.
Like in general, if you're raising a bunch of kids to just hate motherfuckers and then it's just a fuck ton of them and that shit is spreading constantly and is getting seems like it's becoming more and more people of not caring and just trying to do as much reckless shit as possible. It seems like it's not working for the most part. You feel what I'm saying? Like for it's not something that motherfuckers should have to deal with at the end of the day. You feel me? Like the fact that people have to go through so much nonsense and so much shit just to live a normal life because there's so many fucking idiots and so many crazy people out there bothers me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It definitely should. I don't know. I agree. It's not something that should be like not gain enough attention on.
Yeah, I completely agree. I say there was I think there's weekend this weekend. Vaughn, I would say what Ree came up this weekend for this week, last week more or less, for Suave's God damn, what the fuck is it?
Vow renewal.
Vow renewal. That's what you call it. Vow renewal, right? I believe there was a homicide up here during that week, somewhere in Bridgeport. I was saying last week. Last week there was I don't know if we talked about it, but there was a kid last week that we were talking that we used to know back in the day that literally just got a warrant out for him for shooting somebody.
Somebody we know? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's someone that you specifically know, but he's someone that used to live on the south end of where I used to live when I was younger, and we used to play basketball all the time. And I'm just like, yo, what is it that as a solo reprise? Definitely that's fire. That's some fire shit right there. Andre 3000, definitely. But it's just scary, bro. Growing up with people and you talk to them and then you don't think that they're gonna turn out into the people that they were. And it's a lot of times it has to do with what is happening at home. Let's say, and it goes pretty far because it has to deal with people raising their kids in certain areas or the way that they were raised or their thought process and their morals that they try to push onto their children. And the more that they do that, the more that just continues to become a generational effect that just won't go the fuck away. And I think that's hurting. I think that's literally hurting us at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I say it's scary. It's scary, and I just would love for us to do better.
There's gotta be a united front for people to understand that one, you can't break generational curses by not doing something different, right?
Agreed. Completely agree.
So yeah, that's a really big thing here. You just can't break generational curses without doing something different without recognizing what the issue is. Like a big issue, like I feel like based off what you mentioned is, there's a lot of households that keep doing the same thing over and over again. Like something that's been a very big thing recently, right? Is Black people talking about mental health and shit like that, right? That's like something that's a curse that we let rock around and shit like that. Shit like men not being able to be vulnerable and show emotion. That's some shit like that we let rock around. Like I know old motherfuckers. I've never heard these motherfuckers say "I love you" to their kids. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
Like
big.
old men never hear these motherfuckers say "I love you" because
That's
like
big
shit
shit.
they ain't do. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it takes a it takes a recognition. It takes recognizing the problem and then formulating a solution because we all don't want to be like our parents. But if you don't recognize what the issues are and you're just like, "Oh, I don't want to be like my parent," more likely you're gonna end up recreating that same environment um out of like just habit because what you know. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah,
Nature versus nurture.
no, see, you're gonna recreate what you saw. Let's say whether it's subconsciously or consciously. Let's say you're always gonna more or less recreate what your household was. Let's say I say that alone has always been fascinating to me when it comes down to psychology and understanding people's thought process and brain. It's like even though you can see something be evil and you can see something, how can I say not be what it's supposed to be, more or less. And you would still try to make that happen in your own life, or you would subconsciously try to make it happen. And it's scary that you can try your damnedest to not become more or less, let's say, your parents, but that's gonna happen, that it happens anyway. I say the way that we're built and the way that our bodies are made, it's like when you're a kid, all of this shit is stuck in your mind until you're an adult. And then it slowly releases in short bursts of oh, I need to do this. This is the first instance of me remembering of how to do this. And then it just pops in your mind and then you just go with that type of flow and it doesn't make any sense. Um I'm not saying that that's literally what it is for every single person because obviously that's not how it works. But there's a lot of people who don't want to be like their parents who literally just end up like their parents at the end of the day. There are women out there that talk about, oh, I don't want to have a kid by 16 and then end up having a kid by 16. There are kids out there that don't want to end up being on drugs or something like that because their parents are on drugs and yet it still happens. I say a lot of the shit that gets passed down more or less, you would say hereditarily or hereditary, or I think that's the word, hereditary, right? Let's say that's through genetic or genetically, whatever the fuck, whatever the fuck, all right? However it gets passed down, it just continues. And you can't always stop it. It's genetic, even though it's literally just an action. It's like this thought process is able to continue. It's kind of like when you hear about bugs or something like that 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 only live for a few days or only live for a day or a month or some shit like that, and you're trying to understand how do they hatch and come up with the thought process of this is the type of food that I eat. This is where I need to go. I need to spin this cocoon or whatever the fuck, and then I die. It's like, how do you automatically have that knowledge or thought process? And it's just like it's automatically there. And the same thing with bugs when it comes down to people. I say there's certain things that your family members have done that you're gonna retain. And it's not that you're gonna want to do it, it's just something that just might be in the back of your mind. I would say there's a lot of people when it comes down to royalty who automatically don't know that a lot of their other royal brothers or sisters have done evil shit, but end up doing some of the same evil shit that other people do. And it's just, and not even royalty. This is literally just a general thought process. I say it's the same thing with twins. There have been twins that have never met each other before and either have a wife that's in the same, has the same name or the same working field, or the brothers work in the same type of field or went to the same type of school for the same type of thing or whatever. But it's just a thought process that's just somehow shared. Unconscious instinct. I like that. I'm actually gonna Google that. I say because I don't know if that's actually a term or not. I say tell me if that is. Say, but basically that's what it is.
Mm.
And unconscious instinct. Yeah, that sounds right. I would say the same reason that animals and things in the jungle are born and then can literally fend for themselves half the time when it comes to a lot of shit. Because like it's like octopus. Octopus don't live for a very long time. They're very smart creatures, very very smart creatures, and they can lay up to I think to like 10,000 eggs or some wild shit like that. Yet for a baby, for an octopus to actually live to full growth is very difficult. I would say, and it's not, and then with that thought process being there, you have to, you have to literally raise yourself at that point as an octopus, my nigga. As an it's not like you're being adopted, like you're going into adoption agency or something like that, and you get to get new parents and shit like that. Blah blah. It's not like that. It's literally just your instinct of what comes to mind. And I think the same thing happens when people end up having kids or they grow up later in life and they start having certain thought process and certain things. I say there's a lot of times where people have not met their biological parents, but have turned out to be just like them. So when it comes
That brings
down,
it back like nature versus nurture shit. Like
exactly.
because sometimes just genetics you become who your family like genetics plays a big factor into a lot of things, man. People don't
Yes,
understand that shit.
it makes it pretty much seem like you are going to be who you are regardless. At the end of the day, yeah, there's certain things that you can change, but there are certain aspects of you that are going to be are set in stone, more or less, that you're not going to be able to change, or that you're not gonna subconsciously be able to change. You feel me?
Hmm.
And it's kind of like I just learned this the other day. Like pregnant women and regular women, like subconsciously they want to eat babies. Did you know that?
No.
They're Titans, yo.
Yeah, Titan type shit. Not even gonna hold you. I would say it's literally a thing. Because I was at dinner with my girl and her brother and his wife, and they had their baby. And they were talking about, oh, how sometimes it seems like they just want to eat the baby. And then Lindsay was like, oh yeah, it was the what's her name? Oh, I'm not supposed to say her name. I say, but his girl was like, yeah, it was like sometimes I get the same feeling that, I kind of want to like eat the baby or some shit like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Cannibalism? But like technically, more or less, yeah. I would say it's an animal instinct type shit. Like there are animals out there that eat their young, and then sometime something with women, it's an impressed feeling or suppressed feeling. I'm sorry. That makes them want to eat their child, but they don't, which is why, like you nibble on babies and shit or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, I didn't know that. It's literally just a subconscious thing that, you are obviously able to control. You don't want to eat the baby, but like you do the little nibble on the baby fingers or the toes and shit like that. That's where shit like
I'm
that
trying
comes
to eat a
from.
baby.
What'd you just say?
Nah, chill. I don't even know what I said.
This nigga. Yeah. But like at the end of the day, all I want to say is that like people's thought process is always going to be different. It's always going to be hard to understand what everybody is feeling, thinking, and doing, and what their plans are compared to what they're actually going to do. Because you can have plans, it doesn't mean that the motherfuckers are automatically going to go through them. I say you always have to watch your back. You always have to be worried about the possibility of bad things happening. I say when it comes down, it's kind of like getting a prenup for your marriage, because no one, because at the end of the day, I'm not even gonna hold you. Hey, if y'all like this, whether you dislike it, I say thumbs down, thumbs up. I say I appreciate all the love if y'all don't mind doing that. I didn't even do my intro. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Back to the story. It's kind of like when I say, "Damn, I lost my place." I say, but I'm trying to remember where I was. I don't want to go too off topic. I say, but all right, just to put it in short terms, people in general have things about them that you're not going to be able to tell what their plans or actions are going to be. I say it's hard. It's always going to be difficult. It's literally something that you're just going to have to take chances with. It's always going to be a scary thought process. I said that expression about babies and puppies and kittens. It's an expression I don't really want to eat them. See, that's proof right there. It's on the screen. Simple shit. Now, I would say you being with somebody and something happening is always a possibility. I would say the same way people get married and you get prenups for your marriage, you don't automatically assume that your marriage is going to go to shit. That's not how you go into marriage. That's not your thought process when you're saying I do, right? You're not like, all right, this is gonna end in 10 years. You feel what I'm saying? When you get married,
Yeah.
you don't get, like, that's not your fucking thought process. Perfect suave. Was that your thought process when you got married?
No.
Now, I'm not saying this specifically that it's going to happen to you, because I highly doubt it's going to happen to you the way you and Amanda you and your girl love each other. Hey, it's a totally different story. Like, that's wild shit. But in general, for a lot of other people, it's going to break up. I say the fact that marriages are at 50-50 now, it's inevitable for a lot of people. It's going to happen. But you don't go into that thought process immediately. You're not just thinking that we're going to break up.
Mhm.
Say, but there's nothing wrong with putting a guard on that at the end of the day. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I say, because it comes down to the same thing with men when it comes down to having to pay for a lifestyle in general. Just hear me out. Now, let's say you're with a woman, right? I say everything's beautiful. You want to get married. She doesn't. She says no to a prenup. And then in 10 years, because you've been busting your ass, working hard, and haven't been spending much time with her, blah, blah, blah. She felt like she raised more or less the kids by herself. But you've been doing everything that you can on your side to keep the woman happy and everything, blah, blah, blah. You've been paying all the bills and everything like that. Now, she's been working. She didn't have to pay no bills, no nothing like that. Let's say this is your type of arrangement where she pays no bills, you pay everything. She basically just watches the kid and she can use her money for whatever she wants. So she's been stacking her bread for the last 10, 20 years or whatever. And then she waits for the kids to leave. And then she just divorces you, takes half of your shit. Mind you, she already got her own bread. And then she takes half of your shit because you were the nigga working the entire time. She has nothing, more or less. So you have to sustain her living because she hasn't worked or whatever the fuck. Or because she doesn't have the same capable abilities in the job force that you do. Right? So now you're asked out. You have no bread because you never got a prenup. You feel where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is automatically what is going to happen, but would at this moment, would he have been wrong to have a prenup to say that whatever I have at the end of this relationship is whatever I got and whatever you got is whatever you got? Would he have been wrong?
I don't think anybody's wrong in those kind of situations, man.
All right, thank you.
Because you got it. At the end of the day, what people like to forget is human instinct is preservation of self. So I don't really think it's a crazy idea that someone may want to preserve their own shit, even if it does seem selfish or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else is preserving their shit most of the time.
I say
So, I don't
no.
know.
No, how would you feel if you were gonna get with a woman and she said that she would not marry you if you wanted a prenup? Is that a red flag?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but it's not also the greatest sign for me. Because it's kind of like if you give it a buck, you shouldn't be very worried about what you can. A prenup doesn't always mean you don't get nothing. A prenup could literally just be an equal division, so we're not fighting with lawyers and shit like that. Shit happen. You know what I'm saying? It could be literally this is what down the middle means.
Mhm.
Later on, there's no discussion of what middle is. We discuss the middle. This is what the middle is.
Right. No, what if she does not want that at all?
That kind of tells me that there is some kind of there's some underlying condition for this relationship, and it's not really about the love. Because if I tell you, hey yo, straight down the middle,
so you automatically assume that it's not about the love if it's to that point?
if I went into it and I said, hey yo, look, here's the guide for prenup. It's gonna be straight down the middle. You know what I'm saying? What you got in your bank account is your bank account, but the house, we could sell that bitch, we could sell the cars, sell all that shit, you know what I'm saying? And then everything straight down the middle. And it's like, nah, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? What about me? It's kind of like if I'm telling you, you can have half. What more you need? Because now you're just fighting for negotiations to get other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shit that realistically, if you were being a human, and I say this in the aspect like, yo, if you were by yourself, you'd be paying your fucking rent, right? You'd be paying your car bills and shit like that, right?
Okay.
So just because we got together doesn't mean that that should automatically disappear or that you should not understand the concept of it anymore. Yeah, shit like that, man. It's like, yo, if I'm gonna give you half is what we were declaring right now, and that's not a conversation you're willing to have. I don't know. There might be something more you looking to get, or you just have control, like a big ass control issue.
Well, yeah. I gotta hand it to a lot of niggas nowadays because I think a lot more people are starting to understand their worth and their honestly, yeah, just their worth. I say motherfuckers is really starting to understand their worth, and it's happening at a massive rate. I can't even hold you at a massive rate. There's a lot of niggas out here now that's like, I don't give a fuck. But there's also a lot of niggas out here that also are like, hey, I'm gonna do anything that I can to get any woman, and like that shit is not helpful either.
We were really taught to have those kind of that conservativeness. That's something that more so I feel women were taught. We weren't just like we weren't given the guide on, hey yo, get you a good woman. I think the most I've been told about like what to look for in a woman is uh God fearing,
Mm.
and uh homemaker caretaker. You know what I'm saying? It's never
Really?
get you somebody who's smart, get you someone who know how to hold down the job. It wasn't along those lines like women get told find you a man with some worth who can take care of your ass and shit like that. Like man, I'm not saying I need an independent woman, but I need a motherfucker who know how to if some shit happen, you know what I'm saying? I get my leg blown off or some shit. We ain't going down with the ship. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I feel you. I think that is that right now. Oh, bye, Libby. I say it's good to see you. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. Um, I say I understand that. I say there's a lot of people who would want somebody that is obvious. Excuse me. Obviously, going to be able to help when things when it comes down to it. At the end of the day, I say there's a lot of people out there that would leave their partner if their partner couldn't make money anymore. Actually, and that's
I just
scary
seen
as
that
shit.
today.
What do you mean you seen that today?
There's literally a post where they were like showing how women of other races besides black women are really like, nah, I'm not with that. Like, yo, if money's like the question was, is money important in a relationship?
Right.
And this is
It
like what I
plays
was
a
telling you about what I was saying about like certain things certain people weren't taught.
Mhm.
Um, they were showcasing how majority of the black women were saying that money didn't matter, but women of other races it was very important, like damn near the number one thing on their list was that the men have some type of funds and shit like that, which kind of goes back to that old school, you was paying people's dads dowries and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people, and I think people don't really get to grasp that I'm not gonna say a vast majority, but for a lot of people, marriages is still kind of in that old concept of, hey yo, this is for the betterment of the tribe. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just marry anybody. You married somebody to advance the tribe. Maybe you had the strong. You use one that raised strong kids. You married somebody for smart kids, political reasons, shit like that. It was
Mm.
always about the advancement and shit like that. And there are a lot of people who still marry for those same reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To advance. You know what I'm saying? No one's taking the L here, but it's about advancing their race and shit like that, or their gene line. But yeah, it's one of the things. Like I don't know. I
I
I,
think it's
I
just
do think
sad
we
that
could leave.
money plays a factor in everything. Literally
Every
everything.
fucking thing. Every fucking thing.
In the past, it never was like that, but now it is.
Well, the past, I say, it is also a lot more about. It didn't even matter what happened in your relationship in the past. It was just about getting married. See, because
Yeah, no.
there was a lot of times in the past where women would get married to some bullshit ass motherfuckers, bro. Like some bullshit ass niggas.
Mm.
Like niggas was cheating, they was going out doing all types of wild shit. But it was because your family wanted you to marry this man or whatever the fuck. Like there's a lot of instances where back in the day relationships weren't based off love. And I mean I understand the same it's the same thing now. Say but like the only reason I think back in the day didn't have the same marriage rates, well the divorce rates as we do now is because they just stuck it the fuck out. And it was a lot harder probably to get divorced. Like an Italian community, like when y'all niggas is together, y'all niggas is together.
Mm.
And like I think that happened with a lot of motherfuckers. There's a lot, yo, I say you don't hear about all the bad shit that your grandfathers or your great granddads and motherfuckers did until they died.
Yeah.
I say, have you noticed that? Like you hear that a lot. Like it's like, oh yeah, he was good, blah blah blah. Then once the motherfucker died, they tell you about all the wild shit. Oh yeah, Oh, your grandfather? Shit, yo, he was out every night at the bar, at the titty bar, looking at some titties, throwing cash and all that. Like it's all different types of shit that you see or that you hear after somebody passes, bro.
But they
Like
want you to
it's
keep them in a good light.
well, yeah, they want you to keep them in good light, especially if they're here. But a lot of times when a motherfucker passes, it's like, all right, cool, we can tell all that wild shit homeboy did back in the day, and it's literally just how it is. I don't know if it's more different now than it was before, or if it's just because we have social media and everyone can talk about it now, and it's a little bit more acceptable to move on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think if divorce was a little bit easier and it was more acceptable back in the day, I honestly believe divorce rates would probably be at the same rate that they are now. I mean, I legitimately don't see how they couldn't. That's just me being honest, though. I would say I really feel like they would be exactly at the same spot that they were, well, where they are now. I would say motherfuckers back in the day is just as evil and just as fucked up. I would say, and then shit, that comes with racism and all that extra shit. And it's like, yo, y'all dealing with a lot of evil motherfuckers back then. And I say, we got a lot of crazy niggas here now, but we got evil motherfuckers back then.
Facts.
It's like we got niggas eating bath salt now. Back then, people were just evil. People didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. Say motherfuckers was going out. Some niggas was going out beating their wife, fucking, and then just paying all the bills and acting like everything is hunky dory on Sunday dinner when everybody came over. And then same thing with some of the women were doing the same exact thing. It was a little less acceptable, but it also happened. I say people at the end of the day are fucked. There are a lot of fucked people on this goddamn planet. There are a lot of good people on the planet. You just have to find that one. But the only thing about it is that you can't give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And it's hard to figure out who you can't give the benefit of the doubt at the end of the day. There's going to be a lot of people that you think you can trust that are going to hurt you. It happens. I say it's a normal response. You're going to be hurt. It's gonna happen. There are going to be shitty people. It's possible that you have one relationship and it'll be perfect for the rest of your life. It could be one relationship and it's just the worst relationship of your life, but you just have that feeling that you don't want to be with anybody else. Things like this happen. It happens a lot, and it happens to so many people that you don't even understand. There's people that are going through so much pain because they just haven't left the person that they're with.
Mhm.
It's insane. I say niggas would be with a motherfucker 20, 30 years and would be cheating the entire time because they fell out of love with their partner. Or someone found out that their husband has been cheating for so long, but they just never said anything because they didn't want to ruin the family image. Things
Sometimes you
like
just
that.
gotta, yeah.
Yeah, things like that happen a lot. There are a lot of times where people will just deal with shit just because they don't want to ruin what's happening. I say, but that's literally all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to talk about how crazy people can be on different aspects. I know it seemed like I only picked 3 things I had to deal with. Actually, no. First one I had to deal with evil men. So I say it's not anti women. Because I had somebody tell me that I was anti women because I posted some shit about some women or some shit like that doing some wild shit. And it's like, how? I say if someone's doing wild shit, it don't matter if they girl or a boy. Like you doing wild shit. Like it's just like that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I say, but I just want to appreciate you guys. Thank you, Vaughn, CareFreeRree. Thank you,
You already
Soavecito.
know.
I say I appreciate both of y'all. I thank everybody coming out for the stream. I know I don't stream a lot. It's literally been a lot of fucking shit. All right, don't bother me. All right, it's been a lot of shit. Just be happy I'm here, okay? Just be happy I'm fucking here. Enjoy the show. Go look at the past shit. Go look how a nigga fucked up at the beginning of the show. If you didn't see the rest of it, it's funny shit. Anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you. You want to go check out the video? This video will probably be live on YouTube tomorrow, most likely. Time to talk. KingKadoTalks. You see, it's right or on this side. I say I'm pointing over here. I'm retarded. I'm stupid. It's right here. KingKadoTalks on all platforms. So I love each and every one of you. Thank you to my two co-hosts. Yeah, with that being said, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night.